Hey, it's Kate.
Hey, it's Joanna.
Do you like women who laugh like Roseanne?
Do you like jumping in a pool full of lemon juice covered in paper cuts?
Do you like loading a bowl at the end of a hard day? If you answered yes to one or more of these questions, you should listen to Butt Stuff on the Journey into Comics Network.
The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Warning, Podcastrophe imminent. Join me, Dick, on a podcast about music, movies, television, all with a taste of metal. This is Podcastrophe.
Hello, everybody. Dick here for another episode of Podcastrophe. This is episode 6, and I am back here again at the Doom Room with Sarah Naxon.
Yee.
Year reviews. How are you today, Nick?
I'm fantastic. I'm in a good mood.
Awesome.
I'm feeling limber.
Limber?
Did some stretching before this, so
As you should before any podcast, because you really don't know how long you're going to be sitting on your ass.
no. I expect it could go on for a very long time. Sometimes we get lost in the void.
The Void.
In the Void King.
In the Void King. Those are some funny bits in that Chris Charles comic.
I'm really excited about what I'm referring to as Season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
Into the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out, Chris Charles.
It's already off to a great start.
I'm surprised Austin's not dead yet.
Yeah.
Although he has already stuck his finger at my butt. So.
Yes. And I apparently want to see some ghost boobs.
That's
And Anthony's along for this adventure. He's not just a side character. He's along. He's coming with us. He's our I guess our healer.
with the legendary beer. No swords, no great swords.
His unicorn jizz and frog balls.
That's gonna save us.
It really is, but he's ghost busting now. Well, that was I can't remember what exactly that said today. Oh shit! Speak of, we have one right now.
We have a
fresh one.
A fresh episode of Into the Woods, a Doom Room,
This is
bizarre
good.
noir adventure.
It starts off with you.
Does it?
Yes, I'll finish reading it myself.
All right.
And yeah, there you go.
Let's see what we got here.
We also have Jeannie coming along for the full quest this time.
Wow.
She's really brightened this thing up.
She's
Quite the character in real life, and she
really brings us all back down to earth
really does.
with some very sincere insults that
Yeah.
aren't even necessarily supposed to be insulting. They're just truths.
Completely. Oh man, so we're recovering from quite the weekend.
Yes.
Or well, I don't know if we're still recovering. It's been a couple days now, but Friday night started off with quite the banger. Last week in general was just
One thing after another.
I know, and I don't remember half of it.
No, I don't either. That's my motto, though. My mantra.
It's weird because normally we stop remembering things in November.
We decided to start early this year.
Yeah,
Remember? September.
pre-gaming.
Yep. Pre-game till you pass out.
Oh, which you're pretty good at.
I am
That
notorious,
one show.
notoriously good at it.
God damn, that was you kept telling us to go forward.
I was
And,
totally clocked out at 9 o'clock.
Something about our spray. I don't know. You kept saying something about our spray and to go forward into our spray.
I cannot
And then you were on the
speak
floor.
for drunk Nick. He's got a personality and a mind of his
He
own.
really does. He really does. No, last week, okay, it started off, we had Astral Mass. Who else played? Chainsmoker and some another one? Wretch, yes.
It was Sunday Fun Day.
I don't think I stayed for Wretch. I think I left shortly after Astral Mass. I really liked Astral Mass.
Me too.
I dug them. I made the mistake of thinking they were from Wisconsin.
Wrong.
But it just
Totally
turns out I heard them say Wisconsin, so I just assumed. But they're from Indy, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I was like, hey,
Pioneering that doomy, sludgy stoner sound.
I dug it. I always dig stoner and doom when it comes through here.
Mm-hmm.
It's so jammy. It's so spacey and jammy.
I'm glad that we've booked enough of it now that we can distinguish. You know, it's all good.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell the differences between them now.
Yeah.
Some people get lost in the doom, and just like you get lost in the brutal death metal, where it's like this all sounds the same. It's like, well, you just got to dig into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been into the doom lately. I guess it's been a year and a half now.
I was gonna say I noticed. I think it was on the Chainsmokers, or maybe it was Astral Mass. They had the Chainsmoker. Was it Chainsmoker?
Chainsmoker.
Okay, not the Chainsmokers. That's
No.
another thing, completely different.
Yeah, people are like, "Wow,
Good job.
I would not refer to the Chainsmokers as doomy or stoner rock at all."
No, but somebody had a Chemist sticker on their drum set.
Ooh,
I was like, oh, I know them. They played here.
they are great.
Nick was pretty excited about that show. I think you have a poster on the wall
Yes, I
from
do.
that show.
Yep, this past April.
It was
Druid and the Mound Builders.
Druid and the Mound Builders. Yeah, at Carnahan Hall.
That was a nasty good show.
Oh yeah, I love Chemist and Druid. Wow.
They're one of Indiana's finest.
Yes, another one from Indy, I believe. Yeah, they're from Indy. I think I've seen them at the
Corey
quarter.
fucking Clark.
Then last Monday, we had Extinction AD.
Yep, Thrash Monday.
Oh my god, now that was a fucking show.
Yep.
Paralysis.
They were fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, Paralysis opened up the show, and wow, like I haven't heard thrash quite like that since like Narrow House.
Yeah, it was
And
a cool brand. I hadn't heard anything quite like it in a long time.
And like I just kept thinking, man, Austin Smith, bass player of Narrow House, would just love this. I tried to reach out to his wife and be like, dude, Austin would love this, but never got a reply. I don't even think she uses Snapchat anymore, unfortunately.
Most of us don't.
I'm still pretty big on the Snapchat. I'm still going strong on the Snapchat.
I believe it.
As you should.
I totally believe it.
I recently got a Instagram after years.
I'm aware. I was followed.
Yes. I recently got into Instagram for the sake of the podcast. If anybody wants to check out what we do, get a little more visual input on the podcast and the things I do throughout my life pertaining mostly to the podcast, go ahead, check it out at Podcastrophe Podcast.
That was about as smooth a plug as you could get.
Oh yeah, it'll get plugged later too.
It felt right in.
It'll get plugged later too.
There's things that are gonna get plugged today, guys. That's what we're saying.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I mean, when we're doing these metal casts, especially with you, we gotta plug things. We got
when we're having a big dick day, we've
Yes.
gotta plug things.
Yes, but we have a special guest.
We have a special guest,
If you can hear.
Mr. Mini Doom.
And we're back. Sorry about that, guys. We had a special guest, Nick's son Thomas.
It's something very important to show me.
Yes. But let's see, where were we? We were plugging things, right? Talking about plugging
we're
things?
just fucking talking about plugging things.
Oh, we plug things hard at the Doom Room.
Typical Nick and Dick stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some more shows coming up, and I believe the Doom Room made it very clear that I am going to be at every single one of them,
Every single one, yep.
except for this Sunday.
Why's that?
I'm gonna go see Devil Driver and Superjoint and King Parrot.
King Parrot. They're getting ready to do another thing on their own here in a couple months.
I have literally never heard them,
They're amazing.
and I know famous Ray Carlisle is like obsessed with them.
They're fucking partiers,
And
dude.
I'm ready to hear what they got. I'm ready to see what they're about. I've seen Devil Driver. I love Devil Driver, but I wasn't super impressed with their show when I saw them. I don't know. It just didn't seem like a super into it show with them. Like they weren't really throwing down.
That's
And so I
disappointing.
don't know. which is crazy because like okay, so it was at what's it called, Center Stage Bar and Grill.
That's where it's going to be?
No,
Or where it was?
It was. This is I think 3 years ago. Yeah, it was 3 years ago. Center Stage Bar and Grill. It was Devil Driver, Carnifex, River of Nile, Whitechapel.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pretty fucking badass lineup in
Yep.
terms of like deathcore and death metal and stuff. I really enjoyed Whitechapel. I did not think I was going to enjoy them, but I did.
What do you think of Rivers of Nile?
I think I got there just after they played.
Damn it. They're
And-
really, really awesome.
Yeah, from what I think they'd either just played or they were finishing up, or maybe. I feel like maybe I missed both Rivers of Nile and Carnifex because I don't remember either of them. I remember a band was playing when I got there. It may have been Carnifex, but I have heard Rivers of Nile and I dig them.
Yeah, me too.
Carnifex, I like them. Whitechapel, I've up until I think after that show, I finally checked them out on CD. But before that, I didn't really like what I heard. And then I heard them live, and I was like, wow. It's much like Suicide Silence. I can't stand Suicide Silence on CD, but live, they really bring it. And there's just something about a live show, you know. Everybody says that there's an energy to it. But then Devil Driver came out. And I was stoked for that. I've always been a huge Devil Driver fan. And it was cool. It's really about the extent I have to say about that.
Damn.
So I'm really hoping that they redeem themselves this coming Sunday. I've seen Superjoint, so I'm cool with that.
Where did you say the show's going to be?
This show is at the Vogue in Indianapolis.
I like the Vogue.
I do like the Vogue. So Phil Anselmo, he's a great front man. Don't always agree with the things he says or does.
Well, that's with most people.
But, you know, he puts on a great show, and, you know, he's a fucking legend.
He is.
He's a fucking legend, Pantera. But out of all the Doom Room shows, that's the only one I can think of that I'm going to miss is this Sunday. Who's playing?
Gil.
They
played around this time last year as Junkbot. And then they played earlier this year with U-Bred Raptors in Dortmund.
Okay. I think I was actually at that show with Gil, but I don't remember them.
Yeah, it's a...
Yep.
I think they're a 4-piece now.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind of doomy, but it's more like post-metal.
Yeah.
Instrumental.
Do they have... Oh, okay, it's just instrumental?
Yeah.
I was about to ask if they had vocals.
Nope.
Because you said they played with U-Bred Raptors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the rest of the shows this year, I'll actually be able to make it. I looked at all the dates, and they don't look like they fall on any of the days that I'm going to anything else.
We got a couple cool things coming up. Got a couple things we haven't announced yet that are planned.
Oh, really?
I think the eponymous Huge
Oh,
are going to make a return.
Are they going to any more leaks? Do you know if that's going to... Those assholes at the Metal Experience, man.
Dude, there was some talk of some kind of a security breach a couple months back. We think somebody might have gotten a hold of another super secret track. But you know, we've got people looking into it. We're gonna try to get it back before anybody can leak it. But you know how those things go. With hackers are determined. And I mean, Huge is a pretty big deal. It's they're doing it bigly, so I can understand why people are wanting to hack into my computer and steal the tracks.
Yeah.
We caught the microwave spying on us when we were practicing a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, fucking spyware's come a long way since
It really has. I mean,
you know, the 40s when the microwave was first made.
spyware in the 40s.
Microwave ovens.
Oh, shit. Did you see that shit Trump was talking about Puerto Rico today? Or yesterday?
The part about
whatever?
the water?
No, I think
The thing about Puerto Rico is it's an island. That means lots of water, big water, ocean water. That's the latest thing I heard about Puerto Rico.
I saw something today where he was talking to Puerto Rico, and essentially he said, we used a lot of money on you, and you messed up our budget.
What?
I know. He's like, hey, we helped you out and you screwed up our budget. And then I couldn't, you can never tell if he's insulting something or praising it, because he goes back and forth the whole time. And he went on to say, like, you know, we had a real disaster like Hurricane Katrina. It's like, what? Did you just compare Katrina to Irma and say Katrina was a real disaster? But then he went on, he's like, now we had hundreds of people die in Katrina, but I mean, you guys had 16, 17, and then someone corrected him, was like, it was 16. Like, you had 16 people die compared to thousands. So good job, guys.
Just not enough people died for it to matter.
And he's like, that's great. That's great. That's incredible for such a powerful storm, which he's right. For as big as Hurricane Irma was, and was it Jose that came after that?
Mm-hmm. I didn't hear anything about Jose.
Yeah, and me either.
But Maria's the one that really fucked Puerto Rico up.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Irma and Maria, like, back to back almost, and for both those storms and only 16 deaths, that is truly incredible. I mean, it sucks that people actually died, but
Yeah, there are crazier things.
Yeah.
Killing more people.
Yeah. I made I made one of my rare, I post something super offensive and then I actually take it down yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I don't typically take down what I post because
you finally took it too far.
I typically don't care. And if I take it too far, oh well, I still leave it up. But usually if I post something really offensive and somebody else who usually goes along with it and laughs and like acknowledges that it's super ridiculous and super offensive, but they don't get butthurt about it. If one of them says, dude, come on, I know I went too far. And I had my friend Scott, he's like, dude, really? And he is always like right behind me, like ready to troll the shit out of people. And he's like, dude,
not this time.
Come on. And so a couple days ago we had the mass shooting in Las Vegas at the Jason Aldean concert, which sucks. Up to 50 dead, 400 plus injured. It's crazy. I'm not even going to talk about the shooter because I don't believe in making the monster famous. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of how the media, like, they'll post their picture up all over the media, and then suddenly, then that gives people a platform to see, oh, this guy did this. All the other monsters out there, you know?
It gives them something to look up
yeah,
to.
Exactly. He says, oh, I could do this. No, fuck that. Sensationalism. I hate it.
Yeah. They have a really hard time calling white guys terrorists.
Yeah, that too.
Which, I mean,
I hated that the media was showing videos that people took of while the shooting was happening and all that, and it's like, really, guys?
Yeah, we are pretty desensitized to
we're so desensitized.
Murder and violence.
And I hate that the media sensationalizes it instead of, you know, bring it. Obviously, you got to report it, but you don't have to show it.
Yeah, showing. I'm glad that I didn't see any videos of people actually being shot.
Yeah. Then there was that one guy. Have you seen that picture? The one guy like standing up, flipping him off.
I found the video.
You found the video of it while he's holding his beer?
Yep.
That guy's a fucking
legend,
and he will live on forever in our hearts
as that guy,
because he is that guy that's like, fuck you, dude. He was either like just that ballsy or that drunk.
And I mean, I've been to a country music concert. They get turned up.
I bet.
There's a chance he didn't know where he was, but
probably.
A lot of people didn't really know where they were in that moment. Apparently, it was going on for I think 10 minutes, I cannot imagine standing in a crowd for 10 minutes.
Well, it's scary as shit because you don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
Like, he was across the street in a hotel room.
I totally didn't, it took me a while to realize that people at the hotel would have been the ones saying stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there like, how the fuck do you figure that out, 10 minutes is, of course, obviously, faster would have been better, but bravo to them for figuring it out that quick and putting it to a stop.
Well, apparently the guy killed himself.
Yeah, they blew the wall down to get into his room, and he was dead inside.
Wow.
They didn't kick the door in. I heard they blew the wall in to get to him.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Either we're going to capture
hard.
him, either we're going to blow this wall down, and either he's going to die from that, or he's going to be fucked up because fuck him.
Yeah, so...
That's bravo to Las Vegas PD or whoever took care of that part of it. Apparently he had they counted 42 guns in his room.
That's wild.
Yeah. No, the post I made on Facebook, I'll just go ahead and say it. I don't care.
We're in it.
It's been taken down. I realize what I said. It's very insensitive. But I said, and this is what happens when pop country is allowed to go on.
God damn it.
I can't remember. I hashtagged something. I'm like, when will we learn or some shit. Fuck pop country.
Wow. I think it was Pat Robertson said something along the lines of, well, if we didn't disrespect our flag and disrespect our president, then this wouldn't happen.
Oh my God.
Like, you're not even going to beat around the bush on that. That sounds like politicizing, but...
Yeah. This country's so silly. This world's so silly.
Yeah, it's...
As much as I love social media is so silly.
Just gonna float above it all on my lolicopter and...
Yeah, that's what I'm trying my best to do, is just to...
Apparently you're not allowed to talk about it unless you're actually out there doing something.
Yeah, it's
keyboard warriors of all ilks, the self-righteous ones who just want to call everyone out for only wanting to talk about it. It's like, I'm not trying to politicize things. I'm just trying to talk about things and try to come to an understanding. So if you sit there and, there's people that just want to sit there and point out make it seem like it's all just arguing and be like, oh, look at you making a point, and then look at you, rebuking his point. Like, yes, that is what a debate or what a conversation is about. It's about an exchange of ideas. And sure, it might be tired, but you have to run through tired rhetoric for to get through to people.
Yeah.
You have to say, that right fucking thing to get people to figure it out. Because obviously, even seeing the right thing won't figure it out. You see 50 people, 60 people now get killed, 400 people get injured, and people still want to find shit to just fucking complain about.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to just go, hey, a bunch of fucking people just got severely hurt. A bunch of people just died. It's a mess.
It is. I mean, it's crazy. This is the worst mass shooting in United States history.
If we don't count any of the Native American
like
slaughters.
Atrocities. Yes.
Yeah, atrocities, genocides.
Yes.
Yeah, we can call it. Yeah. There we go. This is the worst mass shooting. We won't count the genocide of the people that we took.
This is straight. That to me, that's not terrorism exactly.
It was terrorism to
the
Native Americans.
Yes, you're right.
But we are definitely not getting into imperialist America talk today.
No. That is for another day.
We're going to talk about how fucking awesome that Between the Buried and Me show was.
Oh, yes.
That we saw on this past Saturday. That's what I think.
So, let's rewind here. So, years ago, when I first hear of Between the Buried and Me, it was on a fine Thursday afternoon, I believe.
Wow.
I was at the mall.
Memories.
2010. I think October 2010. I was at the mall. I was in Spencer's when it was beside Zoomies in our Tippecanoe Mall. And my friend Parker Ware, drummer of the Sluts now, he tells me, He just runs into me. He's like, hey, I can't remember what brought it up, but he just brings up, hey, have you heard Between the Buried and Me? I'm like, no. I think I've heard the name. I'm that guy. I've heard the name, but I haven't heard them.
It's a long name.
Yeah. He's like, dude, you need to check it out. Later that night, I go to my first practice / tryout for my old band, Catacresis. My very first band with Cody Clem, formerly of Weed Bee. Yes. Good. That was a great night because after the practice, and then, okay, so fast forward a little bit. After the practice, we're all just hanging out talking. And our guitarist, Mike Benecki, says, dude, have you heard Between the Buried and Me? I'm like, what the fuck? That's twice today someone's mentioned this band to me. Like, what is going on here? And no album came out that year, did it? Alaska was like, what, 09?
Dude, we just went to Colors, 10-year anniversary. So that came out in 2007. So Great Misdirect was probably 2009. I think.
Okay. When was? Oh, Alaska came out in 05, didn't it?
Yeah, it came out.
Okay, shit.
A while ago.
Well, yeah, that was okay. So they suggested, they're like, dude, if you haven't heard it, you need to listen to Colors. You need to listen to Alaska, and I think that was all that really got suggested. Mm-hmm. But so of course, having heard it twice that day, I went home and I did what any normal American metalhead citizen would do. I got on the Pirate Bay and I downloaded their discography.
Good God.
And of course, I listened to Alaska. I didn't listen to Colors. I listened to Alaska.
I mean, for you, I can see you liking Alaska more.
I don't remember most of the album. I remember 2 songs. The title track, Alaska, and Selkies, The Endless Obsession.
One of the best songs.
I love Selkies.
Yeah.
I love Selkies. But yeah, that's one of the albums I've really wanted to go back and revisit, especially since like I didn't necessarily get into them at that time. I enjoyed what I heard, but I didn't delve into them. I didn't connect with them quite like I did with because a couple years later they came out with Parallax.
Right.
They came out with the Parallax 1 EP, Hypersleep Dialogues, and that was cool. And then about a year later, came out with Parallax 2.
It was probably closer to a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah. And I love Parallax 2. I absolutely love Parallax 2, especially like once I found this blog site that explained the entire Parallax story that spanned their entire discography. Like starting with like I think oh shit, what album was it? It was before Alaska, I think. They had a
Silent
song.
Circus.
Yeah, they had a song on there. Do you remember what song that was?
Mordecai?
Was it Mordecai? Or was it Swim to the Moon?
Swim to the Moon is Great Misdirect.
Okay. And they have there's some songs on Colors, prequel to the sequel. The A and B song. Phoneborn A and B. Mm-hmm. And then of course moving forward you got Swim to the Moon, and then you got the actual Parallax albums.
Right.
And that story is really incredible. If you can find the actual Parallax story online, it's a great read. It's a long read.
It's a very long read.
It's a very long read because it's just this guy's he read into it all, and it's his version of the story. It's what he thinks the story is, and he included lyrics. He included the songs themselves, so you can listen to them. And he just dives into it. And once he gets to the actual 2 Parallax albums, he goes track by track. It's cool. It's such a cool read. Did I ever send that to you?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
It's been years since I've read it, but
it's been a couple years. I think I read it twice. I read it the first time, and then a year or so later, I just went back and reread it because I liked it so much. But anyway, where did you hear Between the Buried and Me first? Like, what got you into them?
I think technically the first time would be someone I worked with at McDonald's had a ringtone that was the intro to Alaska.
Yeah.
So I would just hear that, and then they eventually gave it to me. So I had the ringtone, and Didn't think anything.
And you just went home and just jammed to this fucking ringtone, didn't you?
It was a fucking really. I mean, so we got to be talking 2006 or something.
Yeah.
So it was a long time ago. And then I went to fast forward to 2009, I believe, when this might have even been early 2010 when The Great Misdirect came out. Went into Hot Topic because I was still buying stuff from Hot Topic. Fuck me. And I was one of those guys that would walk in and I would just try to find something that I thought was cool or that sounded right. I'm one of those 4 fans of kind of guys. So I would look for 4 fans of and then be like, oh, I like those bands. I'm going to buy this CD.
Yeah.
So I walk in and there's an unbelievably attractive girl standing there, working there. And I was like, well, what would you suggest out of all these? And she says, Between the Buried and Me. And I look at it. And I couldn't tell you what was on it, like what it specifically said, but it was The Great Misdirect. So the combination of the bands that it said, and then this extremely attractive woman,
who apparently has excellent taste in music.
Yes, clearly.
Not typical of Hot Topic.
So
nowadays, at least.
so that very volatile combination got me to buy The Great Misdirect. I went home and I listened to it. The first track was not what I was expecting at all. Then it kicks into obfuscation, and I'm like, okay, this is more of what I was expecting, but it was still leagues ahead of what I was listening to.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not ready for this. I remember listening to the next track, Disease, Injury, Madness, and totally loved it. I bought into that one. And then the rest of the album, it just got way too fucking crazy, and after a few listens, I put it away. I was like, I'm not ready for this. And then it was a full year later, I was hanging out with one of my buddies, and we went out. We were watching all sorts of musical DVDs at the time. And one night we went out and we bought the Black Dahlias DVD. I don't remember which one it was, but it just followed them around.
Those are always fun.
So I got that.
Their DVDs are crazy.
The Song Remains the Same DVD from Led Zeppelin and Colors Live, the DVD, all in one night. And we went home.
So did you listen to Colors live first?
Yes.
Okay.
I watched Colors live first before listening to it, to my knowledge at least. I might have listened to songs from it, but it wasn't anything that stuck out to me. It was in my heyday of absolutely not smoking any pot at all. I was not smoking pot while listening to these albums in the middle of the night. Totally not smoking chronic, listening to these albums. Getting absolutely blasted out of my mind. And remember watching it and being totally blown away. Yeah. So then I went back. I'm like, I think I've already actually got one of their CDs. So then I went back to Great Misdirect. And then I went back and listened to Alaska, and I heard that ring. I heard Alaska, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then it just snowballed from there. So went and saw my first time that year. Maybe it was 2011. Seen him 10 plus times now.
Oh, wow. That's more than I've seen Five Finger Death Punch.
That is quite a statement.
I think I've only seen them 5 times. I think
I've seen both my Valentine more times than that.
Man. They got a cool tour coming up. They're with Avenged. Okay, cool.
And Breaking Benjamin.
And Breaking Benjamin, and I'm tempted.
I might try to find myself some free tickets to that.
I'm tempted. I might go. I don't know.
It sounds interesting enough. Is it at the Ruoff Home Mortgage Center?
No, it is in Evansville.
Oh,
at the whatever the fuck that place is. I've never even heard of it. I don't know. I don't go to Evansville. I go to Deer Creek, Verizon, Klipsch.
Ruoff Home Mortgage Center.
Ruoff Home Mortgage Center. I'm gonna be the guy that calls it, like, for a while I still called it Verizon, but
it's been Klipsch for the majority of the time.
Yeah, same
that
here.
I've done that. But it was Verizon, I guess, when I was in my
everybody always
Warped
calls
Tour days.
Yeah,
'cause I used to go to Warped Tour every year. It was still Verizon.
Everybody always called it Deer Creek. Whenever someone brings that up, I'm like, it takes me a second. I'm like, oh yeah, Klipsch.
It was never Deer Creek for me.
Yeah, same. It was Verizon when I my very first concert was the first Mayhem Festival in 2008, and it was Verizon. I think a year. It may not. It may have been a year or two, and then it was Klipsch again, or Klipsch. But yeah, so let's talk about Saturday.
Right.
Let's talk about Saturday. I worked. I had a fun working morning where I only got 4 hours of sleep. Actually, I didn't have to go in at my normal time, which was 6. I went in at 8 and I worked till 12. So short shift, whatever.
Very short.
I thought I would get to sleep in, but still only got 4 hours of sleep, whatever. So I get off work and I immediately go eat lunch with my dad. Blah, blah, blah. Go home real quick, take a quick shower, come straight here because I thought we were leaving at 3.
Yeah. There was a little bit of miscommunication.
So we wait for our dear friend, Chris Pilot.
The luscious lion.
The luscious lion. To get here at 3:30.
And then I was forced to drive the Crown Vic, which was the worst possible vehicle choice we could have used, because we spent $60 in gas.
Wow.
Of which I got paid only $30 from everyone else. It was an ass whooping, I'll tell you what. A monetary ass whooping.
We drive this. Nick drives his Crown Vic, and I have a Subaru Crosstrek, and Chris has something.
A Prius.
Chris has a Prius, and we didn't take that.
Right.
What the hell? Why didn't even? I mean, I didn't offer either, but
I even tried.
I have a somewhat valid excuse of I can only drive so many miles a year, and I've pretty much used those miles this year.
God damn it!
And I still have a couple trips that I need to make.
Apparently, one of those was not to Chicago this past weekend. So we slam on up there.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, if it were me driving, I would not have been able to handle what we endured quite the way you did.
I'm a trooper when it comes to driving. So we got to Chicago.
And what were we gonna do?
Well, we were gonna go to Lagunitas Brewing Company to get some lunch and try some brews. It was apparently 2.5 miles from the venue. So it had been recommended by a friend whose opinion I trust completely. I said, you know what? I'm gonna force the crew to do it. Everyone was on board, so we went.
Yeah, we were totally forced. Like,
so first of all, just following the GPS led us to this rickety road in a really bad looking part of town, and we could see a building.
Looking part. Let's talk about the other senses.
So we're
the
getting
other 5
there.
senses.
We're gonna get there. And you could see off in the distance, a huge warehouse that had Lagunitas written on it.
Uh-huh.
But like, how the fuck do we get to that building? So we're following the GPS.
Yeah, because it took us to a dead end.
It took us to a dead end, and then so we're driving around in circles. We can't figure out what to do. We eventually find two people, that go driving down what we believed was a one-way road. So we just followed them. We're like, well,
fuck it.
If they're gonna get hit, then they're gonna get hit, not us.
YOLO.
So we follow them, and then we go driving all through this neighborhood where there's people parked in the middle of the road. And I'm not joking, folks. I'm talking about there's people parked on the side of the road, and then there's enough room for like one car to drive down the middle. But then some people were just parked in the middle of the road.
Yes.
People just hanging out on the porch. We saw people selling stuff out of their cars. When we finally get to Lagunitas, pull up to the side of the building in a terrible looking part of town. We jump out, almost step on a heroin needle. And it sounds like just some silly joke, but it was totally there.
Yeah. So and we see a sign says, "Hey, entrance, whatever." And so we start walking around the building, discover there's nothing over there.
So we turn around and we go the other way.
Where it looked like there was some kind of event going on.
Mind you, this whole time, Jess, one of the people that's with us, had twisted her foot really, really bad earlier in the day. Thought she broke her foot. So she's limping up and down the road.
Yes.
We're just lost trying to figure out what the fuck we're doing. We eventually find what we believe is an entrance. We go walking up, and before we get too close, there's a gentleman sitting in a chair, and he says, "Sorry, guys, we're closed today." And we all just kind of look off to the side a little bit, look up at the sky a little bit, just totally baffled.
Yeah, because I heard stuff going on in there.
There was music being played loudly. It was like there was a special event going on, like a private event.
But they were closed.
So we walked back down the nasty sidewalk. We jumped over. So down the sidewalk and over the heroin needle. Back to the car we go. And
meanwhile, like Jess is like trailing. And
trailing,
limping behind us.
We eventually decide, we're just gonna find some place else to go. Jess is the one that eventually finds a place for us to go. A Lulu. Is just like 2 or 3 miles away, and it was still relatively close to the venue.
Like 2-3 miles away. Tons of speed bumps in the middle of crazy, stupid streets with people parked in the middle of the road yet again. It was so...
Speed bumps every 20 feet.
Yeah, and like there's a couple of... You can't see them. They're not marked very well at all.
I almost slammed the car over a couple of them. We joked at one point that if they just put a couple more speed bumps in, it would just be a raised road. They wouldn't be speed bumps anymore because there were already so many.
It'd be higher ground, yeah.
Maybe it was a dirt track, like dirt bike track or something. We were just unaware of it.
Yeah, clearly it was. I think it was like a motocross
an obstacle
place,
course,
like right before the Great Chicago Fire,
right?
Hundreds of years ago.
It was problematic.
Yes, but we eventually found the Alulu Brew Pub. It was a neat little place.
I definitely liked the vibe.
Yeah, I like the vibe. What'd they say about like the tables and stuff?
That when they had bought the spot and they were doing all their renovations, they repurposed all the wood. So for their clipboards, for the waitresses, it was repurposed wood. The bar, repurposed wood. They had maybe 6 or 7 tables in there, all repurposed wood. So on top of all the repurposed wood, they had the, little candles on the tables, the grass on the wall. And so it was a brew pub, and they had maybe it was 20 plus taps. I don't know if they had 20 different beers, but they definitely had a large beer selection. 2 of us got flights, which are just multiple different kinds of beers in tiny little sample glasses. So instead of just having one beer, you can try a bunch of different ones for all you out there who don't know what a flight is. And 4 out of the 5 that I had were really good. There was light beers, dark beers.
Yeah.
The oatmeal stout I had, it was just creamy. It was so tasty. The Oktoberfest sucked. That was the one that was like, that was like, whoa. But
I didn't enjoy mine. I had the Shad the Impaler. Or not
Yeah.
Shad the Impaler, Shad the Calmer. Totally different.
totally different things.
Totally different things on completely opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Shad's alternate personality.
I think, yeah. I think I was thinking Vlad.
Yeah, definitely.
Oops.
Definitely.
Shad the Calmer, which was a APA. I think it was like 35 IBU.
Yeah, it was very sessionable. It wasn't that. It was good.
Like I think I said it there. I didn't have it didn't have a bold enough flavor for me.
I can understand that. I think I gave it a 2.75 out of 5 on Untapped.
Okay.
So it's all right.
The food was okay.
Yeah, it was definitely
The thing I've noticed
upscale.
about these brew pubs and breweries is like when they have food is like they try to fancy it up so hardcore.
really hard.
Like I didn't understand half of them, like the food that was on there. The only thing I really recognized word wise was poutine and pork
And I totally got the poutine.
barbecue.
It was so good.
That barbecue sauce on my on the pork shoulder thing that I had, it was really good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
My
I enjoyed that.
frites were good.
My frites were good too, along with the the sour cream it was like a French onion like dip that they gave me along with our tangy tomato paste.
Tomato paste.
Ketchup. It was ketchup.
It was totally ketchup.
But we had to fancy up the words.
See, everything was great there until the waitress decided she didn't want to, do her job anymore. Took us forever to get out of
the
there.
The service was not the best.
No. But then we made it to the show. We missed Tooth Grinder.
And that bummed me out so hard because I love Tooth Grinder.
Yeah.
I've seen him twice now opening up for 36 Crazy Fists.
I was pretty disappointed in myself.
Oh, well, it happens. I mean, I managed to talk to one of the members. I think his name's Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I told him about the Doom Room, and I let him know of a booking you made.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Or possible booking you made.
It's in the works.
I told him, I was like, hey, hit us up. I don't know how you feel about basement shows, but we do other shows too.
Right. We can make it work.
Yeah. And he seemed all about it. He's like, dude, we're about to come out with a new CD and have our own headlining tour. And he's like, when we do our headlining tour, we get to pick the places.
We should send them a message reminding them.
Do it.
But that was so the show was at the Bottom Lounge.
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd ever been to the Bottom Lounge.
As soon as I walked in, I was like, this is awesome.
Totally sold.
Oh,
from
yeah.
the moment I walked in.
And, of course, I look on the list of drafts, and they have Zombie Dust, so I'm definitely okay.
Right. Yeah, they had 50 different beers.
Mm-hmm. And what was the beers that you were really into?
The Pipeworks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Ninja versus Unicorn.
I love craft beer names.
Yeah, I got that, and then a Gumball Head. I love Gumball Head on draft.
I've never liked Gumball Head.
You're missing out, man.
I've never liked it.
Yeah. So this place was it looked like an old warehouse.
Yeah.
Well, it looked like that's what it was, but it was renovated so well. It had a bunch of old pinball machines. It looked like it had another upstairs area for private events.
Uh-huh.
And then a totally separate room for the venue. So you had to walk through double doors to get into the place where the music was being played, and it had a bar. But then it was, I bet you they've got a 1,000 cap in there, maybe.
And it was packed.
And it was totally, absolutely packed.
Totally packed. It was sold out. I think it was sold out because Between the Buried and Me played both nights.
Yep.
Or 2 nights, and it was sold out both nights.
Yeah. I wish I could have gone to the other one, too. I wish I could just follow them around.
Our buddy Jake did. Jake Quintilla.
You went to both?
No, he went to the next night.
Oh.
Him and, I always forget his name.
Jason Schultz.
Yeah, Jason.
Yep.
Who I ran into. I ran into him at the Walk Among Us show about a couple weeks ago. Where, my weekend of podcasting where I recorded Journey into Comics episode 156 and Podcastrophe episode 4. We went to the Walk Among Us show that night, and he just showed up. I was like,
Nice.
oh, shit! I know you!
That's cool.
So
Jason's awesome.
I sat and talked to him for a little bit. Those guys in Minds Horizon, they're great dudes.
They are. They're one of my favorites.
Great dudes, great music. Check them out. Minds Horizon. Plug.
Plug.
Hashtag plug.
Hashtag plug.
So Periphery.
Yeah, so Periphery.
Okay, story.
I think they're going by
Story.
Polyphia nowadays.
Story behind this is story behind the laughter is our friend Nate. We've talked about Nate on some of the other podcasts. We work, myself and Brandon from Journey into Comics, Journey to Wrestling, Game Addicts podcast. We work with Nate, and he's hilarious. He says bro like it's a period in a sentence, and he's just a fun guy. Well, he was there. He managed to score a ticket for $60.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, he said there were people offering for $120, $80, some all kinds of way up there. But he managed to score one for $60. And so I see him there. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, Nate made it. And after we watched Polyphia, we're hanging out in the bar area and drinking some beers. I'm checking my Snapchat. I see in the Snapchat stories Nate posted. And what I see is a Snapchat video of Polyphia, but instead of saying Polyphia, it says, he captioned it, Periphery, in all caps.
And we were sure that it was just some really clever joke.
Maybe you guys.
So
I immediately knew. I was like, oh man, come on, Nate.
he doesn't have any idea.
He had no idea. So we go back in right before the Contortionist plays, and I look. The Contortionist is actually playing at this point. And I go, dude, Nate, how'd you like Periphery? He goes, they were pretty badass, bro.
Totally serious.
And then I just started busting up. I think you were laughing too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we were both laughing.
And he did not get it.
And he's like, what, bro?
Okay.
Like, what's up, bro? What's funny? What's so funny, bro? And I was like, dude, that wasn't Periphery. He's like, oh, what? Who was it? I was like, that was Polyphia. Oh. My bad, bro. But then we watched The Contortionist, and they're always badass.
Totally awesome.
I dug them a lot. I saw they just came out with a new CD, didn't they?
They sure did. Clairvoyant.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out. They recently. Okay, so have you heard of Nail the Mix?
No.
It's this service where mixers and producers and recording studio people they can get tracks, like the actual studio stems from bands. They had it from Machine Head, Meshuggah, all like that shit, and they're the actual stems, and you get to mix it yourself. You get to mix the song yourself.
Right.
And they have, it's a month-long thing. It's every month. It's a subscription service, so you pay monthly. You get that month's stems and every month's stems before that. So whatever songs you want. And then throughout the month, you have like these classes or these live streams where you sit with the actual producer of the song, and they'll go through their process of mixing it and answer questions. And at the end of the month, they actually have a contest for whose mix is the best. Yeah,
our mutual buddy Dan Favors has been doing that.
Yeah. I did it once. I didn't. By did it once, I mean I downloaded the stems and I didn't participate in anything else.
Oh,
but I went into it thinking, oh, cool, I can get these stems and just have all the stems and just remove the vocals and do vocal covers.
Right.
It is in the contract or the agreement that you cannot use any of it. It's just for mixing purposes and learning purposes. The whole point of it is to have these professionally done stems, and so you can see how much easier it is when you have professionally done stuff to work with.
Right.
And it's so much easier to learn. It's so much easier to like if the band you're recording puts out like an awesome level of professionalism and all that shit, you're gonna have a much easier time. I mean, I think that's pretty cut and dry. You should know that anyways. But this coming month's Nail the Mix is The Contortionist.
Is it?
Yeah, I can't remember what song, but I just thought I'd mention that.
Nice.
Well, I guess plugging Nail the Mix. Anyway,
Plugged.
# plug. So, go on.
Let's
hear yours.
Really like The Contortionist. Seen them a couple times. I think we talked last time
Yeah.
about how we'd seen them at the
August Burns Red.
Red.
Which was my first time hearing them.
Ever?
Yeah.
I was happy he busted out some of the heavy vocals. He doesn't really do that very often anymore. So, and then, without further ado, Between the Buried and Me came out and just slammed right into Colors. They played the whole thing front to back, and I've, like I said, I've seen
no stopping. That's
Nope.
I mean that album was meant to be played straight through.
Yep.
So much like Parallax, I think. Yeah. And I'm not familiar with Colors. I think there's only 2 songs on there that I'm familiar with. No, 3 songs. Prequel to the sequel, Son of Nothing, and White Walls.
Mm-hmm.
So when Son of Nothing came out, I was like, I know this one.
Okay, here we go.
I was stoked. I was like, finally, familiarity.
It was the best thing ever. Been waiting for that moment for so long.
And I've wanted to listen to that album, but I never got around to it. So when I saw that this this concert was happening, and then I eventually was going, I made a decision that I wasn't going to listen to it. I was going to experience it live. I was going to experience Colors for the first time live. And I was not let down.
Yeah, it was just not I'm weird. Like, I'll sit there in the middle of someone's set, and there's always that tipping point where I'm like, all right, attention lost. It's time to move on, guys. And
just didn't happen.
Didn't come. Never comes. It's happened sometimes when I've seen them in the past, especially when they're playing like Coma Ecliptic, when I saw them do that the whole thing through, I'm just like, man, this is getting a little drug on, perhaps.
Yeah,
but not Colors. Not Colors.
Coma Ecliptic's not like one of their amazing albums, I would say. I don't know. I haven't listened to it.
I mean, I've listened to it a shit ton, and I like it more than I like a lot of albums.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not exactly how I like my BT Bam.
Yeah.
I like my BT Bam.
There's no screaming in that album, is there?
There's some.
Okay.
Maybe 30 or 40%.
Oh, okay. That's not.
So that's why it was such a refreshing thing to see him do 80% heavy vocals. And I mean, I don't consider. I never thought about I'm gonna do vocals like him, but he's such an inspiration to how I do vocals.
I remember years ago. I heard it. I was listening to Between the Buried and Me, and then at some point, I think I was listening to Parallax 2, and then at some point, one of your Weed B tracks came on my shuffle, and I heard it. I was like, God damn, the influence is definitely there.
Yeah, I don't mean for it to be there, but
it just happens.
It just happened, yeah.
Yeah, I remember throughout the set, I was like, I wonder where we are in the album, because I don't know it.
I always knew, almost to the minute. I'm like, all right, we're about 37 minutes into this thing.
Yeah, I kept looking at my watch and just to see like where we were at in the album, because you said it was like an hour, 6-minute album or something like that.
Yeah, just over a minute. Just over an hour. I'm like, very really, brief show, guys.
Very brief show.
We were in and out.
Yeah, so like I kept looking at my watch because I was like, oh, I wonder if not that I wanted it to be over, but I was just curious as to where in the album we were. So I was really shocked when White Walls came on, and I was like, oh shit,
we're here.
We're at the end.
You just weren't ready to be at the end.
No, I was not.
They could have just kept on going.
For some reason, I thought, because Viridian comes right before White Walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I thought that was a much longer song. It's only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I looked. And, wow, I did my Wikipedia while I was there. I think during the set, I was just looking at, because White Walls came on, I'm like, what? I could have swore, like, sense. Viridian was like 10, 15 minutes long. But, nope. So yeah, White Walls came on. That song kicks your ass.
All the way through.
That song kicks your ass. Then they went off the stage.
Yep, for a minute.
For a minute. They got their little breather. And of course everybody's chanting BT Bam, BT Bam. And yeah, so
it was magical.
I remember you commenting on the people clapping.
Yeah.
Which is fun because like they weren't even like encouraged to clap. They just did it.
Yep.
Those are the fans. The people that are fucking... I mean, if you're going to see Colors, I'm guessing you're a fucking fan.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just like... Oh,
sold out show.
Yeah, you're not like, oh,
you didn't
BT
stumble
Bam's
into
playing.
the show.
BT Bam's playing. I'll go check them out. No, you're there for fucking
You're
Colors.
dedicated. You bought the tickets the day that they went on sale because...
Probably the day they sold out.
They did. the first show sold out day one, and then they decided to do a second show, and that one sold out within a day.
Yeah, I remember I was sitting at the mall waiting to get my haircut, and I was just scrolling through Facebook, and I see Cody. He's like, "Fuck, the Chicago show for BT Bam sold out." I'm like, "Ah, fuck, I was gonna go to that." And he's like, "I guess I'll just go to the Cleveland show."
Right.
So he went to the Cleveland show, but no, I remember texting you. I'm like, "Hey, dude, I don't know if you got tickets yet or not, but it's sold out now." And you're like, "I have 4." I'm like, "Here is $30. Here's my money. Spot secured." What was their encore song?
Mordecai.
Mordecai? I thought it was something else. Was it?
It was Mordecai.
Okay. And that's on what album?
I believe Silent Circus.
Okay.
So it's old.
Okay, so yeah. So it was cool to actually, hear them talk to us.
Yeah, for that one brief moment.
For that brief moment where they're actually like, hey, thanks for coming out and enjoying the show and colors and clapping. That clapping was awesome, just seeing everybody so into it and clapping these awesome rhythms.
Right,
like,
that's the comment I made.
Yeah,
I was
you're
like, they're not following like his lead. They just know that that's how it goes.
Yeah,
they've listened to this album
they're doing
thousands of times.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
1,
that
2,
was it.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, I remember. It was a fun show. I wish I knew the material better because I probably would have enjoyed it way more. But it was great for my first BT Bam experience. It was great for my first Colors experience. And so I mean, would I put this in my top shows? No, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it, as I enjoy most shows, minus that one Devil Driver show mentioned earlier.
Full circle.
But it was a fun show. I can't wait for the Parallax 2. 10 years.
Yeah. I saw that one live full too.
I want to see that live.
I went with Cody for that one. It was in Chicago. It was the Metro with the Faceless.
Yeah.
And the Contortionist.
I remember you guys saying you were going to go to that show. I remember you guys going.
We were right up front the
I think
whole
I
time.
wanted to go. I don't know why I didn't. Because that was actually when I liked them and when I was into that album.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
And I think I remember wanting to see the Faceless too. Still haven't.
It's hard to see them nowadays since they cancel every other show they're playing.
Oh, man. That's a bummer.
They have a lot of problems getting where they need to go.
Yeah. Are there any tours you're looking forward to coming up, or do you know?
The fucking Guitar Gods tour,
Yeah.
the Angel Vivaldi,
That
Andy James.
somehow the fucking
Scale the Summit
Emerson booked.
at the worst fucking venue in the goddamn state.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Hoosier Dome.
I have not.
I'm not a fan of that place. I mean, it sounds cool. It sounds good in there, but it's just where like all the fucking hardcore kids go.
Well, fuck. I'd rather the show be there then because it's a guitar show. You can't have a guitar-driven show in a shitty room.
Yeah, the Emerson's cool, but it sounds like shit in there.
Garbage. It's not even. I don't think it's cool.
I don't mind it. It's just because I've had some of my best fucking memories there. Like I got to be on stage with Parkway Drive there, so like I love that place for that alone. But yeah, you're right. It sounds like shit in there.
No offense at all to the place.
Yeah, if it sounds like shit in there though.
Yeah,
if you're not right up front, like right next to the speakers, everything just bounces off the walls and you get like terrible acoustics in there.
Yep. I saw Beyond Creation there.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Ugh.
And we just went for Hawken.
How was that?
C2A.
And-
It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Hell of a vocalist in Hawken.
Trying to think of shows coming up for me. Okay, so this Sunday I got Devil Driver Superjoint, formerly Superjoint Ritual from back in the day. Then the next week, October 13th, I have 36 Crazy Fist in Valpo at Big Shots.
Nice.
I'm very excited for that because I love 36 Crazy Fist. They're one of my favorite bands. They just came out with a new album. I'm loving it. Check it out if you need to. It's called Lanterns. Yeah, I really enjoy that album. I think my favorite track on that's Better to Burn. Then later on, I can't remember if there's any more October shows, but November, I have 2 nights in a row. Saturday night, November 11th, is Red and 10 Years at the Vogue.
That sounds cool.
It is. It is. It should be. I've never seen either of them. I'm a big fan of both. Then Sunday night, November 12th, Trivium
Ooh.
and Arch Enemy.
Where?
I think I want to say it's the Bottom Lounge. Actually.
Really? Wow.
No, it might be. I can't remember, but it's in Chicago. Either way, I'm excited to see. I've never seen Arch Enemy. Seen Trivium a few times. Assuming Matt Heffy doesn't fuck up his voice again. Maybe I'll finally get my true Trivium experience. And then, but I'm excited to see Arch Enemy, because I'm a big Jeff Loomis fan now that he's part of the band.
I didn't realize he was part of the band.
Yeah, he joined, I think, a year or two ago. He has no writing credits. He does not write.
That's stupid.
I know, right? I mean, I remember back in the day, like, not long after I started getting, like, deep into metal, like, when I started venturing into, like, Lamb of God, like, that kind of territory. Still relatively shallow in terms of
The ocean.
The ocean of metal. Like, you're starting to enter the zone where there's still a little bit of sunlight.
Right.
You're not quite to the phantom zone yet, where fish start looking fucking weird. But no, I got into Nevermore. Our friend Kyle Brown got me into Nevermore.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, he's a big Jeff Loomis fan. And I enjoyed. Yeah, it was. He got me into Nevermore and Eluvati.
Oh.
Have you heard of it?
Eluvati?
Eluvati.
There's lots of different
Yeah.
pronunciations of it. Yeah.
Them and their like 18-piece band.
Yeah.
Where they play like every
Celtic.
Celtic. They play like every folk instrument you can think of.
Yep.
Including,
They're great.
Including the hurdy-gurdy. I can't even remember what the hurdy-gurdy is, but they fucking play
But
it.
it's there.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
My favorite Jeff Loomis project is Conquering Dystopia.
I remember that name. I never listened to it.
Instrumental,
Yeah,
fucking technical
yeah.
brutality.
I'm still a fan of Nevermore.
Dude, the last song on the album is called Destroyer of Dreams.
And he
it
does
sounds like a song that is
that will just crush you into thinking,
Yep.
I'm never going to be able to accomplish anything.
Nope, I'm done.
I'm done.
Existence
Finished.
is meaningless.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Arch Enemy. I've never seen them. I kind of wish I would have seen them with what's her name, Angela Gassow, whatever her name is, the original vocalist.
Oh yeah.
But we got Alyssa White Glues. She was originally from The Agonist.
Oh.
So she's cool because she actually does clean vocals too. But she is a monstrous screamer, much like Angela, and so it's perfect fit. I remember reading, it was an interesting thing. They did an interview with the original singer, like not long after she stepped down from frontwoman. She manages the band now.
Really?
She's still involved with the band. She just wanted to step outside of the light, outside of that position, and she wanted to do more managerial thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool that, I don't know if she still is, but I think that's really cool that she didn't necessarily want to quit the band. She just didn't want to.
Didn't want to do that no more.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah, Trivium. That's gonna be a fun show. Coming off a new album too.
Trivium is?
Yeah, that should be out in another week or so.
Oh.
I can't even remember what it's called. Whatever it is. They're taking a more like extreme metal approach.
Cool.
Yeah, from what I heard, it was very very symphonic, very death metal-y.
Great.
Yeah, it's a lot of trim picking.
Reinvention.
Which they do. They typically do that a lot these days. Like, I mean, Silence in the Snow is such a fantastic album. Had no screaming, but it was so heavy. It was so tasty. So, I gave you some homework.
Yeah.
I gave you some homework, and
Homework's gonna be late, teacher.
homework's gonna be late. So I had you listen to one of my favorite albums. This is an album I frequently revisit in its entirety. I never skip a song, and there's a lot of albums that after a certain point, I just cherry pick songs, and it's just fine. But I don't skip a single song on this album. Every now and then I'm like, I want to listen to this, and I'll play it. It's Parkway Drive's last CD, Ire. The little bit you say you fell asleep while listening to it.
Well, I mean, I've had a long day.
Yeah.
So I feel, I'm not saying that the material put me to sleep.
Now I've tried to get you to listen to this for a while.
That's true.
You said you were originally turned off by the single that came out,
Yeah.
Vice Grip,
Yeah.
which we played on the second metal cast of Journey into Comics 2 years ago. It was like they just they just dropped the single, so we wanted to see Nate Phillips react to it because he had never even listened to Parkway Drive before.
All right.
So so we were excited when Nick Torres and I were getting ready to start Podcastrophe OG, the demo. we were originally gonna start off with a review of Ire. Never happened. So now I get to kind of do it with you.
Yeah. Maybe like I said, maybe we should wait until I'm a little more knowledgeable.
Oh yeah, that's fine. But your initial thoughts for the little bit you've heard?
I like it more than I initially did because I sat down with the lyrics and read them while I was listening to it. And I mean, I've always loved what Winston does, so I think he definitely is doing just as good on this one as he's done on the rest.
Yeah, it was definitely not the direction I thought they were going to go after Atlas. I thought they were going to go because I consider
further down the hole.
Yeah, I consider like Atlas not exactly a prog album, but more progressive, I would say.
Yeah.
Because in terms of like what they were doing different things than their typical like breakdowny fucking
right
metalcore. And
Atlas was my favorite of those.
Oh yeah, I think Atlas is still their best album. That and Deep Blue, but Ire is definitely my favorite album. Because I seriously, I thought they were going to go further down that rabbit hole that Ire created, or not Ire, Atlas created, and they they went completely opposite direction.
I said, nah.
I mean, there's a couple songs on there that could probably fit on Atlas, like Fractures. I think that could easily fit on.
Yeah, that's the one that I really like.
Oh yeah, I knew you would. I totally called it. Because like it's like I said, it's a lot like Atlas. It could fit on there. This album's very like lead guitar heavy, like not
That's right in my alley.
Like not exactly in terms of like shredding and soloing, but like just cheesy fucking lead guitar melodies all over the place.
It works well for them.
Yeah, it's definitely probably their poppiest record if you want to go that way. But it was a fun album.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a harder listen.
Yeah.
It deserves it.
I know you at least listened to Crushed on there.
Yeah,
Crushed is a badass song.
it was pretty good.
It's their, I would call it their rage song, their Rage Against the Machine song.
Yeah, I can definitely tell that he's pissed off about some things.
Oh yeah, he's it's got a really badass groove to it. And the music video, it's one of those songs you got to watch the music video with it.
Yeah,
it's a cool music video. But yeah. We have a crier in the other room.
somebody's having a hard time.
You want to go check that out?
I guess I should.
Be right back, folks. And we're back.
Yeah. So Nick's gonna go home, and for episode 7, 8, 12, I don't know, we'll go into a in-depth review.
Yes.
Of Parkway Drive.
And, you know, we were talking about it. I think last week about the possibility of just making the metal cast every other week, basically.
Yeah.
And just me coming over here or you coming over to my place and us just recording and talking about metal and, you know, having guests on. And, you know, it's been a long time. I think it's actually been since Metalcast episode 2 that we actually played music on the show.
Yeah, we talked about reintroducing that.
Yeah, so like, I'm definitely eager to hear some new jams, get some new jams out to you guys. That will not be happening today.
No.
As I have not prepared anything. You probably haven't either, I'm guessing.
Not sorry.
Nope, no new music for you guys. Not today. You just get Pizza Face at the end of the episode with Big Dick Day. So I'm hoping everybody is really enjoying that song. God damn, they played here, and I think every band that night played that song.
So good.
It was okay. So we started off the night with Pizza Face.
Mm-hmm.
Gooch didn't sing that song, did he?
No.
Or didn't sing that night, did he?
Nope.
So they played Big Dick Day. And then Ray and Chris Pilot's band. What was that called?
Party Act?
No, they had like a little, like just guitar and drums band.
Smoke
Again.
Signals.
That was Smoke Signals that night?
Just the two of them playing?
Well, I didn't think it was called Smoke Signals that night.
I don't know what they called it.
Or maybe it was still Party Act. I don't fucking know.
No, it's hard to
But
tell.
either way, I think it's still Party Act, but either way, they played Big Dick Day. And then of course Pizza Face came on, and they played their entire set, including Big Dick Day. They played Big Dick Day again, and then I'm pretty sure they played their entire set again. And then they probably played Big Dick Day a third or fourth time.
Because
It's only a minute long, as most of their songs are.
Yeah, we're really easy to impress here in Lafayette.
I jammed a couple of their EPs a couple times because it's all available on their Bandcamp for free.
Yep.
And so please go over there, check them out, Pizza Face, at their Bandcamp, and download their album. I mean, I'm sure they have like the name your own price thing selected too. So
They deserve a couple bucks.
oh, definitely.
Best pizza thrash band around.
Yes, from good guys from Philly.
Mm-hmm.
They used to play here like every other month. I feel like it was
More often than not.
Yeah, and there was different versions of it. They had the deep dish of it edition and all kinds of stuff. But it was always fun. It's always been a fun time with Pizza Face. Ben, love that dude. Such a funny dude.
Bennett.
How do you say his last name? What's his last name?
I'm not even gonna
I always pronounce it like Eschinato or Eastinato. Whatever. Ben.
Yep.
Pizza Face Ben. Yeah.
Pistachio.
But that's the only music you get today, unfortunately.
Sorry.
And of course, my intro, which I remixed. I don't know if you can, like, anybody's going to be able to hear the difference, but I remixed the intro. It's a little better.
I'll find out. A
Yo.
little upset that you didn't play it at the beginning.
I'm sorry. I don't.
You know, I need that extra pump.
I need to actually get that on my mobile. My laptop does not have the intro, so I just basically what I do is I record on my laptop wherever I'm at, and then take it home. I put all the vocal tracks onto a flash drive, move it over to my main computer. I mix it there, throw everything there, and then it gets shipped off to the Journey into Comics Network guys, Brando and Nate, where they add some plugs at the beginning. All the plugs. We have like commercials for each show.
Lots of plugs.
Or we each made our own commercials. I had a lot of fun making that. So they do that, and then they ship it to the Patreon, where if you donate $1 to us a month, you get early access to all of our Journey into Comics Network podcasts and shows as early as they're available, or as early as they're edited.
I'm a patron.
Yeah, Nick's a patron.
I'm a $3 patron.
Oh, me too. I'm part of the network, and I have to.
We are
I
single-handedly making this operation
we
financially.
I don't know
feasible.
how many we're up to now, but I know Colby. He's a Patreon too. I don't know how much we're up to, but I know the subscription or the overhead's already covered. Like it's
Nice.
like $10 a month on Podbean, and so that's already covered, which is awesome. But yeah, please subscribe to the Journey into Comics Patreon and help us out. You know, the more we get, the more we're able to do. We're able to go to events. We're able to possibly make some merch and get better equipment.
There's lots of dudes making podcasts for this
Yeah.
network, and everyone's got their own gear to make it possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like, fuck. Eventually, I've talked about it. Like, I want to do this for a living.
It's going to take some work.
It will. It's going to take some work and a lot of support from the fans.
We'll have to do some more plugging.
Oh, yeah. Plugging out the ass. Oh.
That one was a little too close.
Oh, man. I'm guessing, did you listen to last week's episode?
Oh, yeah.
Episode 5, Wolves with Dances. Starring the ever popular Rollo Richard. he's interesting. He's a fun guy.
Rollo.
He's an interesting character, because you don't know what he's gonna say, and I was very weary about recording that episode because I was like, oh my god, am I gonna have to? How much am I gonna have to edit this? How much am I gonna have to edit this? Because I don't know what the hell he's gonna say. And I think we only had to edit like one thing because he had to. He started saying like the place of work, our address, and our group leader's like extension number and all that.
Holy shit!
Well, he claims that none of what he said was actual, like like the numbers and all that were not correct at all in the address and then the extension number. But Brandon went ahead and bleeped it all out.
That's funny.
But if you're watching live, that can't be edited. So
right.
But it's okay. I had a lot of fun. Richard had a lot of fun. I don't know what it's up to now, but I think I looked the next day and the live video is up to 200 views.
Wow.
I'm like, damn. So I can't wait to see what the numbers are when it hits iTunes and Podbean and Google Play and all that. But yeah, it was a very popular episode. We had, I think the reach was like 1,200 people. Had over 65 plus comments. It was fun. The people were engaged in talking in the comments, and I enjoyed that a lot. Richard got such a kick out of it. He was so excited to be on the podcast. He was talking to us years ago when we were just thinking up the ideas for the podcast. He was thinking he wanted to be on it so bad, and then it just never happened. So I was very excited to tell him, hey, I'm doing the podcast now, and I want you on it. So I'm happy I could do that for him. He wants to be back on so bad. He's like, when are we doing it again? When are we doing it again? I was like, I don't know, man. We're gonna see.
I'll have to see.
We're gonna see, because now we have every other week as Metalcast for now. We're gonna see where that goes. Do you think you'll ever branch off and make your own?
If I ever get the equipment.
Yeah. It's not hard. All you need is a phone. But I'm guessing you want to go a little more higher end than that.
Just a little bit.
And, there aren't all you need is a mixer that can plug into your computer, or if you want to go that far, or just an audio interface. There are some pretty inexpensive brands out there that are just as good as what I'm using right now or at home. I mean, you have microphones, you have cables and mic stands, so you're good there.
Can my personas work?
Actually, yeah, probably. God damn. Over fucking kill.
Yeah.
I thought I had overkill with my fucking interfaces.
You'd get 16 people talking at
once.
once.
Oh, yeah. That'd be insane.
That would be a mess.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, I mean, it's a blast with 4 people. Like, I had the most fun ever when I recorded episode 4 with Nate, Veronica, and Sarah. And... like that, when I recorded that episode, I listened back to it and I just thought to myself, wow, this is my vision. This was my vision for Podcastrophe, which is just a couple people just sitting around shooting the shit, just enjoying themselves, enjoying whatever conversation comes out, and nothing pre-planned, just talking about whatever we want to talk about.
Point A to point H to point C to point B.
Yeah, and like we discussed so many different things that episode, but it was such a good time after such a great weekend. But yeah, I think it'd be really awesome if you had your own podcast, because I mean, you have so many interests, you have so many connections, you have so many people you could bring on, and I think you have a lot of resources to work with. And you could have an awesome podcast.
We'll do it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and of course, I'm sure there'll be a slot open on the Journey into Comics network for you.
Oh, yeah.
You're always welcome.
I'm sure that the position has not already been offered.
Awesome.
Nate.
So there's been this new documentary series on Netflix. that we've both watched now.
The greatest thing to hit television.
I watched this last night, and I finished it up last night. American Vandal.
You know what we're talking about, folks. Hashtag Who Drew the Dicks.
Who drew the dicks?
It's the greatest thing Netflix has ever done.
I didn't watch the trailer until after I watched the show.
See, I saw the trailer a long time ago and thought it was just a parody trailer. I didn't realize it was a real thing.
How real do you think it is after watching the whole thing?
It's not real.
Really? You don't think it's real?
No, the writers. I mean, it's a mockumentary.
Okay.
It's satirical. But
I wanted to. There were times where I was like, "Oh my god, maybe this is real."
It's so well done that you really think it's real.
Yeah. Oh my god, just episode 1. But okay, so it's 8 episodes long. Each episode is roughly
30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The final episode's I think 42 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But every episode is just cram packed with content.
Yeah, it's about a guy who supposedly drew dicks on cars in the teacher's parking lot. So this guy goes on a mission to try and prove his innocence or prove his guilt. He just wants to find the truth.
Yeah.
And so think of, what is it? Making of a Murderer or whatever.
It really, the intro to the whole thing looked exactly like the Making of a Murderer.
It's absolutely supposed to be spoofing those whodunit kind of things.
But yeah, I was rolling.
Yeah,
just absolutely rolling the first episode. I was like, there is no fucking way this is real. There's no way.
I want more. I want more now.
Flabbergasted.
It's so good.
I compare it. The last couple days when I've been telling people about it, I've been comparing it to the show Shameless, because just when you think like this show couldn't get any more absurd, they break the limit
every time.
They bust through that fucking wall.
But it always makes sense.
Yeah.
It never, and that's the thing that gets me, is that it's so intricately laid. It's such a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I want more. I'm not satisfied. I want 20 episodes. 8 wasn't enough. I could have kept watching it. I think I watched 3 episodes in one sitting and the rest in another, just because it was like, I gotta finish this. It's so good.
Finished it in 2 nights, yeah.
It's too good. So okay. In light of everything going on in the world, folks, take the time, go sit down in front of the TV and watch American Vandal and find out who drew the dicks.
Yeah. I don't think they have ever officially caught the person.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Just
Literally the worst.
We are the worst with spoiler alerts, because Game of King Chairs season 7 review, we an hour and a half into it, I'm like, spoiler alert.
Sorry, folks.
Oh, yeah, it was so fun to watch, and I was so glad. It was really enjoyable to watch, because it didn't take weeks to watch it if you're like watching an episode a night. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not typically the binger where I'll just sit and watch an entire season of something in one day.
Me neither. That's not me at all. I'm a dinner time guy.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it like an episode a night, or like right before bed. And so I mean, I draw it out. You know, I actually kind of almost get that experience of I'm watching it on TV.
It's literally something to look forward to.
It is. And yeah, I just I blazed through that fucking American Vandal.
I'm a little upset that I gorged myself on that beautiful fruit, because I just want more now.
Oh my god, that one teacher, Raz or whatever.
Kraz. Holy shit.
Dude, he didn't give a fuck.
I remember before.
He was talking mad shit about everybody.
And then, so, it'll have their name pop up in their occupation. And before they ever, like, have a scene that shows you that Kraz got fired, they're interviewing him and it says ex-teacher at the bottom.
I didn't notice that.
So you're just supposed to catch it like, oh, he got fired. It's so good.
Yeah, and then there's that scene later when he's just sitting in his garage in a fucking, like, just a tank top and just
drinking beer.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, well, I guess I got nothing to fucking worry. What are they going to do? Fire me again? I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk shit about everybody now. And he did. God damn, I love that guy. He was right from the get-go, he didn't give a fuck.
Right. He's like, yeah, looking back, I probably shouldn't have said some of the things I said.
he's like, oh yeah, she's a slut.
He's like, I did say that one teacher roofied people. Just
God.
like, yeah.
And then
oops.
the gym teacher, he was like ridiculous too, right?
He
Or,
wasn't
the
as
coach.
ridiculous. I liked him a lot. Rafferty was really cool because he was just like very straightforward. You know, anytime they asked him questions, he's like, "Well, yeah, sure, whatever."
Yeah, there was at one point in the season, or in I think one of the final episodes, where they're like straight up like trying to get to the bottom of like what he did, and he just pops in the room in the middle of one of their interviews and,
tells him,
yeah, and he's like, "I'll tell you what happened," and,
Yeah.
and it just seemed like, "I'm here to shut you up. Please shut up."
"Yeah, right."
Like this is my story.
No need to speculate. Here's the story.
Here's my story. You're not gonna pursue this further now. and that was, I guess, the end of it with that. I liked him too. Not as much as Kraz though. Fuck.
Kraz was funny. Kraz was fucking.
And what was her name? Shapiro.
Oh yeah, Miss
Fuck
Shapiro.
her. Fuck her. Like she's.
Okay, yeah, we shouldn't.
No.
This
No
isn't
more
a review. This is a plug.
Yes.
Go watch
American
Vandal. It is worth your time. You
I'll
will thank us.
Maybe I'll talk about American Vandal on one of the other podcasts with one of the other guys
There's
and
lots
give an
to say
actual
about
review. Because it's been out for a minute, hasn't it? How long has it
The
been out?
15th. It's only been a couple weeks.
Oh wow, so that's not as long as I thought. So maybe you guys have had plenty of time to watch it, but
If you haven't,
I'm giving you guys
do
a
it.
little bit more time.
You need it. We'll have full panel discussion about it someday. I got opinions I need to get out.
If they make a second one, I'm watching it.
Oh, they are.
Oh shit,
They are.
I'm watching it. Spoiler alert. I love that they actually they made it seem like it was something that was shot for the school or whatever, and they actually, because within the show they say that he posted each episode online as it was shot,
Right.
and then I guess it makes it seem like Netflix just saw it and was like, wow, this is really awesome, this is really cool, we're gonna put it on Netflix now. That's what it seemed like to me.
They tried to. I mean, they purposely were making it look that way. So
I just want to believe it's real.
it's just not.
I want to believe it's real
know,
because
I know.
it's just so funny and so ridiculous.
It is very, very ridiculous.
I had a lot of fun watching that. Did you watched Westworld last year?
Yeah.
What did you think of Westworld?
9 out of 10.
Yeah, that was a fun show. Another fun show, and it had me. I kind of had my theories at the beginning, and it turns out I was somewhat right. But it had me, despite having those theories, it still had me gripped on the edge of my seat. I wanted to know what was going to happen next. And season 2 is coming out pretty soon, isn't it? I haven't seen any trailers or anything.
I think early next year.
Oh wow! So I was way off. So cool. I have plenty of time to go over the show again and review it again. And
I think I need to put it on again.
I
They did classic, not Christopher Nolan, but classic Nolan brothers. You know.
Yeah.
Kind of where they show you all these scenes at this, one after another, but they're not in chronological order at all.
Yeah, and you don't even realize that.
They show you events that are literally like decades apart.
Yeah.
But the way that they present it makes it look like it's one continual story at one time, and you're like, nope.
Because the way the world works there is that everything's repeated every day, right?
Yeah.
Or to something like that, and so it just makes it seem like, okay, this is just like the next day. This is that adventure.
Yep.
And because they kind of show that at the beginning, like, oh, everything resets every day. It just resets every day, and then they kind of go into the actual adventure for the rest of the story of the season, and that's wow.
Yeah, it's so good. I need to watch it again. I only watched it once, and then you get so mind blown in those last couple episodes. It's like, All right, now let's try to rewatch it, knowing what happens.
What's that guy's name? The Man in Black. I can't remember the actor's name. Oh, he was RoboCop. He was also in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Oh shit. I'm usually the guy that remembers everybody's name. I love listening to Journey into Comics and just listening to Nate and Brandon fumble over names. Like, oh, what's that guy's name? What's that guy's name? And I'll just
Got an endless store of
yeah. And I'm just sitting there like
information.
I'm in the gym or wherever I'm listening to it. And I'm just like yelling out the fucking person's name. I'm like, it's this fucking person. Come on.
Damn it, guys.
But, and here I am, just completely blank on,
Ed Wood.
Ed
Harris.
Harris, yes. Yes.
There it is.
Yes. And I don't think he was RoboCop. Was he RoboCop?
I don't fucking know. I don't think I've seen RoboCop.
I gotta look this up. It's gonna bug me. But I think it was Ed Harris.
Almost positive it's Ed Harris.
West World. And yeah, I guarantee it's Ed Harris. It has to be Ed Harris. Ed Harris, the Man in Black. I totally called it with him. What's his face from other
You about
movies.
to spoiler again?
The show's been out for a fucking year. It's been out for a year.
It's not been a whole year.
I think it ended in November last year.
No.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was either November or December when it finished up. Yeah, I totally called about who the Man in Black was. I didn't want to believe it because I was also just in the thrall of it, just thinking everything was happening in chronological order.
Right.
Turns out no. But and it wasn't that little kid that kept popping up, wasn't that like Anthony Hopkins, like younger version of himself, like that he created, like his own like boyhood. Like it's just some like way to like
Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold.
Fucking Arnold.
Fucking Arnold.
That was so sad.
Yeah. That was weird. It's a weird show. I like it though.
It's great.
I like it.
It's one of my favorite TV shows for sure.
All right, man. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to talk about?
I don't know. I feel like anyone listening should probably come party with us at that epic Halloween show we're gonna have.
Oh yes.
Where I mean, a lot of the network's gonna be there.
Yeah,
sure.
Walk Among Us is going to be playing at Carnahan Hall, October 28th.
It's gonna be a huge night. 8 bands. There's gonna be
A variety of like they're all different.
Oh yeah, I set out for like.
I think the two closest bands are Limb Splitter and Sarcophagy.
Yep.
Everything else
brutal
is just,
death metal.
Yeah.
Punk. Just
Game
rock.
of Thrones.
Yeah, drum and bass.
Yeah, there's going to be such a variety that night, and I think it's really awesome that you can throw together a show like that, and everybody's going to enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Not like there's something there for everybody, and everybody's just going to enjoy everything. I think.
Yeah, there'll be a costume contest. We're gonna do the Scream Queen contest.
Really?
Wait,
we've done the Scream Queen contest before, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
I think the last
Maxons and me is gonna have beer samples again.
Awesome.
We're working on our basic Betch brew, so it'll be a pumpkin beer.
Oh, of course.
We had to.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have pinball machines there for that one too.
Sweet.
And then there's the pizza after party at Jerry Lee's. Free pizza.
What?
Free pizza at Jerry Lee's afterwards. Yeah.
And what time is afterwards?
We're trying to have the last band done at 11:30, and then we go to Jerry Lee's afterwards.
That's pretty early.
I know.
For a Doom Room show.
I know.
Wait,
Especially,
it's starting pretty early though, isn't it? It's like 5.
I think bands start at 7.
Wow. That's pretty early for a Saturday night.
It is.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. I can't wait to have my costume.
Yeah, I'm still working on mine.
This costume's been in the works since last Halloween.
Wow.
I came up with it a couple days before the Doom Room shows, but I didn't have enough time to actually get together all the things that I needed. So I saved it for this year, which I have more time now. I just have to get a couple things fixed. Spoiler alert. I'm going to have the Deadpool mask on.
Wow.
As always.
That is the most non-spoilery spoiler.
But the rest is going to be a secret.
Right.
And it'll be a lot of fun. Harley Quinn. Huge success last year.
Yeah, it was.
Harley Quinn pool. A huge success at LaFiCon.
Quinn Pool.
I really enjoy throwing on those booty shorts and just hanging the belly out.
Dude, I got some nice sparkly shorts.
Yeah?
Dude, someone just came over at one of the last shows. They're like, yeah, I never wear these. I don't even know how I got them. I just figured that you would wear them. I'm like, I love that that's a thing.
They just know you so well.
Right.
Like,
okay.
here you go. I got these for you. I don't know why, but it just seemed natural.
Yep. And I didn't disagree. Yeah, that's about the only plug I got.
Okay.
And for everyone to just generally check out the Doom Room.
Oh, yeah. It's
on Facebook and the webs.
I'll say it a million times. I love this fucking place. I love not just the actual Doom Room, but all the places the Doom Room plays at. Jerry Lee's Pub, Carnahan Hall, elsewhere, wherever you guys end up.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
We book metal shows. We go to metal shows. We
support metal.
Yeah, we have fun. We have a lot of fun.
And I love it. I love the people. I love the core group. I love the people we bring in. I love all the bands. Like it's always such a good time. And nobody's a fuckhead.
Nope.
For 98% of the time.
All right. And we're able to use a statistic like that since we've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Have over 100
There's
shows.
only been like,
right.
I don't know how very few instances of fuckheadery.
Once every blue moon.
Yes. So I love this place. Guys, please check out the Doom Room. Check out the Doom Room and all it does. They have a YouTube page. They have a Facebook page. Come to the shows. It's such a fun time. And it's $5 a show.
Every single time.
Every single time. You can't beat that.
No matter what you like. And even if you don't like the music, just come and hang out. Because
if you're a band, hit up Nick.
Yeah, you want to play here.
You want to play here because you're always going to have a good turnout. Well, not always.
98% of the time.
98% of the time, you're going to have a good turnout. I mean, if not, you're at least playing to some other awesome bands.
Right.
And me and Nick.
Right, we'll be here.
We'll be here, and we'll enjoy
I've only
it.
missed one show.
And, yeah, I just won't be here Sunday, October 8th.
Damn it.
But, yeah, like... we always throw down. We always have a good time. The fans here, we just get into it. Like
crowd surfing in the kitchen.
We'll crowd surf in the kitchen. We get into the music. We enjoy the music, and like I've heard so many bands come through here and be like, "I love the Doom Room because the fans get it."
Yeah,
we get it.
So become a fan. Become part of the family.
Yeah.
Better music, better people. The Doom Room.
Well, if that's all for you, Nick, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to get on with my night. Go eat some grub.
I am ready to continue my big dick day.
Oh yeah. If you're not already, please go subscribe to Journey into Comics on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and many other places. Check out the Podcastrophe Facebook page or Instagram. You can check us out on Instagram at Podcastrophe Podcast. I have a Twitter, but I don't care about it. Whatever. Podcastrophe Podcast as well. Then, of course, there's the Facebook page, Podcast. Or Podcast. Podcastrophe. Yeah, just check us out if you really want. Go throw us a couple bucks on the Patreon. Journey into Comics, or Patreon/Journey into Comics.
Become a patron.
Yeah, it's just $1 or $3. $3 if you want extra bonus content. Can't go wrong with that. Who doesn't like their bonus content? But if that's gonna be it,
that's it, folks.
Yeah, everybody, please, make every day a big dick day. Thank you, guys.
Yee!
Peace.
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girl is to the right of me, just like I planned. It's gonna be a big dick day. 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 Big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day.